Another day, another ugly character in a video game. It seems like this is happening more often. Of course, we know the infamous Fable, the Xbox showcase, all the controversy around that character and her, just the physical features. And now we have Mortal Kombat 1, who has kind of a legacy in uglifying their characters since the past few iterations of Mortal Kombat. And it has come, unfortunately, to Tanya, a new character, or a character that's being introduced again in Mortal Kombat 1. One of the bonus characters that are being selected to be a part of this pack that's coming out, and people on the internet are kind of complaining. I kind of see the complaints somewhat, just the angles they showed her character and her face. This is like this correlates with some of the trends we've seen with some characters being uglified for modern audiences. I don't know how that makes sense, where you have to make people ugly to please modern audiences. Maybe modern audiences are more, I guess, in tune with ugliness, but it seems like the developers now think this is a process that is necessary, and I think it's rightfully so. People can have a backlash to it, and people are kind of having a backlash to Tanya. Her face, you can see it right here. It's just, for some reason, all these new characters that they uglify, the female characters they give them, they have these kind of just these crazy faces, and I think we've seen this with the Fable character, and they have these crazy shots, and this one is in particular. I can see why people are kind of like, what's going on with her face? She seems like just a complete different character than the one we've seen in the earlier iterations of Mortal Kombat. I don't think she looks too bad myself in this picture. She looks okay in this one. No, I can see the kind of the people's complaints where they're saying she's more masculinized, she's more manly than how she was presented in the earlier versions of the game. This is her original appearance. I can see this is more like a dominating, more appealing, attractive force around her. So I can see the difference. This doesn't look like the character at all. This character is just more engaging, I would have to say, while just her new presence is just more just like, I don't even want to look at that face. And I think that's just maybe it's the model they chose, but we've seen what they did with other models that are like pretty attractive models, and they kind of take them and uglify them. We see this in Mass Effect Andromeda, the original face model for the character. They uglified her face to fit a certain standard that didn't make sense. What standard they were looking for? Maybe, I guess, they were guessing there's too many pretty women in this franchise, but this is kind of a crazy situation that has been going on just in the video game world, where they put in an effort to take beautiful faces and just turn them ugly. And it kind of sounds like some a prank or trick, but as we're seeing right now, this is something people are kind of going against, because it's just happening too often with not the biggest characters, but with our most interesting characters. Let's see this setup here. Yeah, you see the first version of her. I think this, especially one for, I think it's MK2 and 3, this one looks the best. I think they should have stuck with that one. And then you come to this version right here. It's just not the version we want. I don't know who would just be just that face, that stance is just not appealing, I guess, to gamers. I don't find it that appealing. She just looks in general annoying, but I don't know what these developers are thinking. She looks okay here. I think just when maybe it's the character model and their voices when they speak, the voices, their mouth kind of, their jaw kind of twist. I think we see that with the Fable 4 character, or when she's trying to make a expression or she's talking, her jaws looks weird. She looks kind of like I don't know, like a mentally handicapped person there. So it's just kind of a weird motion capture. Maybe I think that might be the case. So when they uglify these people, there's a misalignment in the motion cap, because you're taking their original faces, which is probably beautiful, and they're trying to make it more ugly. So I think the motion cap has some sort of misalignment where it just makes them even more ugly than they intended. And I think that's probably a piece of the problem, because here I already can tell the model that probably does the face for Tanya is probably good and probably a beautiful person, but I think they may try to make her ugly. Then you have the motion cap misalignment, and it just looks even uglier when she's speaking. and she kind of looks like almost like a monster to a certain extent. So it's kind of crazy how this happens, but this is just a trend. We saw what happened with most of the Mortal Kombat games. We're seeing it happen with Capcom. People are complaining about the sexiness of the characters there. We know this is mostly having to do with this, I guess, the investments of the company, where they're getting investments. People mention ESG in order to get those interest-free investments from these firms that have that ESG money from these retirement accounts, from these workers with 401ks that invest their money blindly into these accounts. In order to get those funds invested into their publicly traded companies, or these publicly traded video game companies, they have to follow certain standards, and certain standards having to do with just I guess social, environmental, and just overall governance, which is ESG. And so the social part of this is following I guess social standards, and social standards having to do with feminine feminine looks, and just how people are perceived, whether that's fat positivity, beauty positivity, and I think this is a part of that, where they're hiring people that have this in mind so they can get higher ESG scores. And this is kind of a result of that, having these people hired for like in diversity equity programs, where they can lord over some of the game developers to say, you got to make their more relatable and ugly, because this is more in line with social conscious activity. And some of these developers that have their hands tied and have to listen to these staff members, because they can report to these social governance programs that these companies are not following it. They're following their governance. So I think this is a complicated thing where we have this ugly character as a result. It seems like a faraway process, but this is the results of that. And I don't know how many more characters we're going to get like this. I think this is going to go on for a while. People are still going to play Mortal Kombat. I don't think this is going to dissuade anyone from playing Mortal Kombat, but it's just something to note. I think it's going to kill some games. Maybe it might kill the Fable game. We saw it kill a few other games. I think that they kind of tried to do this. I think Last of Us, as we know, it kind of had tanked its sales for the second version, and it was a loss for Sony, at least according to the court documents. And I think this is a prime example of things failing. Horizon Zero Dawn, I forget the sequel that came out. People are having a problem with that, even though it's selling well, but not as well as it should have been. And they really uglified that character. You saw the pic there. They made her like into a chipmunk with chubby cheeks or something like that. So it's kind of crazy. But for me, I'm still gonna play Mortal Kombat. They got Homelander, they got Peacemaker, they got all these characters. Omni-Man. I'm gonna play it. I'm just not gonna play as Tanya. If I'm playing against Tanya, you're gonna get a fatality. That's it. I just have to kill you there. But leave your comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think they made her over masculine, over dramatized to fit modern standards of ugliness? But leave your comments. Tell me what you think. This is Wagner Knows Why. Catch you next time.